Only 3 announcements that anyone could give a wank about, and the rest of the conference was overall garbage. Well, whew, just a friendly reminder, Bethesda, never, ever do your conference at 12 midnight ever again for the East Coast. Let's get right into it. We're talking about Bethesda at E3 2017, and overall, there was some highlights, but the show was very, very lackluster. We're going to talk about The Evil Within 2 first. The Evil Within 2 looks incredible. I love the trailer. It was so spectacular. Sebastian, he's going back in STEM. He's going to try to save his daughter. Kidman's there too. They're bringing back so many things from the first game. I really enjoy it. They actually are going to make an attempt on trying to make this sequel remedy all the problems from the first game, because The Evil Within 1 is not a masterpiece. It's not a perfection of all things survival horror. The Evil Within, it has a lot of flaws. It has a lot of one hit kill bullshit that I really didn't like. It has a lot of issues that goes back to the aiming, the movement. I thought the movement felt stiff, but overall the game had this aesthetic of making the environments and the monsters and the creatures look so captivating, disgusting, and appalling. And I really enjoyed that from the first game. It's one of those cases where they created a series that had a lot of potential, but the first game really didn't reach that potential. So all of this is making a comeback, but it looks like everything is refined and updated. They have better movement, it seems. Everything looks fast and ferocious, and I think that's how the game really should be. I think they should iron out all those core elements from the first game that really didn't translate too well, and then iron it out for the sequel, and then you have something fantastic. The story seems to be focusing more on a family element, a tale of redemption. Sebastian is going back to save his daughter, so maybe this will make Sebastian a more relatable human being. They talked a lot about his family in files. You really didn't see much of that in the first game. So it looks like they are going to bring that out for the second game, and maybe that will flesh out the story and bring the criticisms of the story being overly convoluted to a more humanized level when it comes to the characters. The Evil Within 2 has a release date. It's coming out this year, people. It's coming out October the 13th, 2017. I cannot wait. Whew. I'm seriously shaken, man. I cannot wait for this. Same for Wolfenstein 2, the New Colossus. This game also looks pretty incredible. The way you just go around and blow away Nazis, the gore, fantastic. The graphics, man, I really need to get on that train of playing like the New Order and the other one that came out. It's like one of those cases where I'm not much of a Wolfenstein guy, I'm more of a Doom fanatic, and we already know that pretty much Bethesda delivered there, so I'm not complaining too much. However, I do wish they still showed off some Doom DLC, but that's another story. Wolfenstein the New Colossus is one of those games that I really want to buy and enjoy. It's coming out in October as well, so there's still some fear there. Like, every time I see two major games drop on the same month from the same company, I get Titanfall 2, Battlefield 1 vibes. I really want The Evil Within to do well, but I also want to play Wolfenstein the New Colossus, so I don't know what's going to happen there. I know Wolfenstein has been around longer, but I still hope that Evil Within 2 sells well enough to warrant another sequel. I cannot wait for both of these games. Once again, Wolfenstein's graphics just look out of this world, man. I really love it. I really love the characters too. It seems like they're having this fun dynamic when the lady with the afro had the grenade and said, "You know what? I'm gonna blow your ass up." Nah, it's just a dud. It's just a fucking dud. I'm just fucking with you. You know, it seems like it's very fun. And that's what games should be. Fun, engaging, engrossing, enticing in so many ways. And I can't wait to play both. Now let's get to the roast of the conference, because it's most likely that I'm not going to care about the rest of the bullet points for a reason. Now, granted, they showed off Dishonored Death of the Outsider, so Dishonored 2 is getting some standalone DLC. I never played Dishonored, so I don't have a very extensive opinion about Dishonored DLC. I want to play it. I heard it's good. I mean, this is great for Dishonored fans. However, I think this is the last highlight of this conference, because Bethesda goes down the toilet from here. We have Doom and Fallout 4 VR. I don't care. I don't care about VR. I would not buy a VR headset. I would rather get games that are supported on the console than to buy VR games and a headset. I don't care. I don't. Quake Champions, apparently BJ Blazkowicz from Wolfenstein is going to be a playable character. That's cool. Then we move on to this like ESL type Quake World Championship where they're having a pot for about $1 million. I don't care about that. I don't. You see, ESL stuff doesn't appeal to me. Sure, it's fun to watch these great individuals, these great players go at it in a competitive format, but I don't think this should take center stage at E3. It sounds like a small scale announcement. Hey, we're having $1 million for a pot for a video game tournament. Let's not waste like 5 or 10 minutes on this at all. It's not important in terms of the grand scheme of things, which is the video games. Next, we have stuff about ESO, Elder Scrolls Online. Then they showed off Skyrim for the Switch, which had amiibo fucking costumes that you can unlock for fucking Link and Zelda. It's like, dude, I don't care about this port. Skyrim is so overdone at this point. It's like, it's old. No one cares anymore. Make a new Elder Scrolls or something. Then they have like the Elder Scrolls card game getting a Heroes of Skyrim add-on. Once again, I don't care much about this Elder Scrolls stuff, so moving on. I think that's it, man. That's it. That's literally it. That's all they showed off. They had about 3 good announcements: Evil Within 2, Wolfenstein 2, the New Colossus, and Dishonored DLC. Everything else was a wash. I would give this conference like at least a C+, because they showed off some really great games and they showed off gameplay for those games and it was very extended. However, the conference just dies after you see those games. It's like whatever at this point. I don't give a shit. And I don't mean to be like rude or offensive or anything, but that's how I feel. I'm giving my real raw thoughts on Bethesda's conference. And it's like they could do better. They could do much better than this. They could at least, I mean, they showed off the Elder Scrolls stuff last year. The card game stuff, all this stuff, Skyrim for the Switch, we seen this stuff last year. So why focus on it this year? I mean, let's be honest. New year, new games. New year, new updates. If you dwell on something for way too long, it gets boring and redundant. Take it off stage or mention it in passing and that's it. And I think that is the problem that Bethesda did not do for some of these games. so I give them a C+. They showed something, at least something entertaining at the end of the show. However, the beginning of this conference was extremely dry. Drier than the Sahara Desert. Yeah. Well, until then, I will see you guys next time. Peace out.